is breaking news on 2 News at 10.
Tonight, 2 fallen officers back in the communities they served just over 24 hours after their lives were senselessly taken while responding to a domestic violence call in Tremonton.
Their bodies surrounded by their colleagues from police departments and sheriff's offices across the state of Utah. Thanks for joining us for 2 News at 10, live from Tremonton. I'm Heidi Tatch.
And I'm Brian Schnee. The final stop in an hours-long procession wrapped up just about 2 hours ago in Logan.
We do have team coverage for you tonight from the procession that stretched across the Wasatch Front tonight for those fallen officers.
The first stop was in Garland for Sergeant Lee Sorensen. Sorensen served the community in Garland for 16 years. He knew it inside and out. He was recently promoted to sergeant and was to be sworn into his new role on Friday. The 56-year-old is survived by his wife and their children.
The town rallied their support for Sergeant Lee Sorensen today. People lining the streets, waiting there often for hours in the hot sun today, wanting to make sure that these families felt lifted up. David Ochoa was there amongst the crowds this evening. David.
Yeah, Garland is a small town with a big community. Flags like this one just behind me here line the street, along with people sitting in the hot sun, waiting to support their hometown hero one last time. Everyone was still in shock that something like this would ever happen in their town. I asked everyone if they knew Sergeant Sorensen, and the answer from just about everyone was yes, because this is a place where everyone knows everyone, which is why they're still reeling from the incident.
It's a very sad day that we're having right now.
Oh, we've teared up multiple times, realizing that something so devastating that you think happens in big cities elsewhere could happen in such a small town.
It breaks my heart that something like this had to happen, and for no good reason. But yes, our community is very, very supportive.
And to see the amount of flags and people coming out just to honor these officers is not shocking, but I didn't realize how many people were being so supportive.
Now the parking lot of this funeral home and Main Street all along here were just filled with people, and then officers, law enforcement officers from all over the state came as well, just like these ones you see in Ogden behind me, keeping watch over Sergeant Sorensen until his final resting place. They all came to pay their respects to him as he came home one last time. Reporting live in Garland, David Ochoa, KUTV 2 News.
A veteran officer, David, thank you. The second officer killed, Officer Eric Estrada. He was young, just 31 years old, and had been in law enforcement for 8 years. Joining the Tremonton Police Department earlier this year, outside of work, he loved CrossFit and described as a dedicated father and husband. He leaves behind his wife, Brittany, and their 2 young children.
Tonight's procession ended at the Allen Hall Mortuary in Logan for Officer Eric Estrada. Brian Will was there when the group arrived and as community members lined the streets tonight. Brian,
he was beloved here, and he started his law enforcement career here in Logan. Tonight, residents filled the streets here, and remnants still remain as ribbons are up for this fallen officer.
This is very fresh. This is an open wound, and it's going to be open for a while.
A community in mourning Monday night, with hundreds lining Center Street in downtown Logan to pay their respects to Officer Eric Estrada.
To see how my community and other communities rally together to show the support to fallen officers, to their families, it's just been pretty amazing to see.
This is the 4th time Shawnee Jaramillo has helped set up a tribute like this, which is far too many.
We're not in this for recognition by any means. We're just here to support them. And so to see that this has really touched their hearts, that's all we're here for.
With some who knew Officer Estrada and many who didn't.
When I first heard about it on the news last night, I was shocked because it hit so close to home. And like I sat on my laptop and I just cried. I was like, it's one of our officers in Logan.
Hundreds of flags from the Major Brent Taylor Foundation, including 2 large American flags, were put up by an army of volunteers, along with help from local businesses and residents like Ian South.
So I was able to come out and put ribbons on, balloons and flags.
A city showing their love for a husband, father, and a hero who loved protecting and serving his community.
Now, this community is preparing for Officer Estrada's funeral, which is expected to be later this week. Many of the flags displayed here will come out again for that. All of this for a hometown hero who will never be forgotten. Reporting live in Logan, Brian Will, KUTV 2 News.
An emotional day there, Brian. Thank you. We're also learning a lot more tonight about the Box Elder County Sheriff's deputy and his canine who were also shot last night.
The two have been identified. We have new audio from moments after that deputy was hit. A warning, it may be very difficult to listen to. For that, let's send things back into the studio to Jamie McGriff on the live desk with this update. Jamie.
Brian and Heidi, the deputy is identified as Deputy Mike Alred. He has worked with the Box Elder County Sheriff's Office for 5 years, working with K9 Azula the last 2. Last night, Alred arrived to assist Sergeant Sorensen and Officer Estrada, not knowing they had been killed minutes prior, and faced gunfire. He and K9 Azula were hit and stayed inside their vehicle. That's when Deputy Alred got on police radio, and we recorded some of that dispatch audio. Again, another warning, this may be hard to listen to.
We got 2 officers down. Shots fired, I've been hit. Still shooting. 2 officers down in the intersection, not moving. I'm hit. I don't know if it's in the head or my shoulder. I'm currently behind the school, behind cover, watching the directions of the shot. I'm currently on the west side of the school in the center. I'm losing a lot of blood.
Deputy Alred was taken to the hospital and K9 Azula to a vet clinic where they are both receiving medical care, and both are said to be recovering and in fair condition. Beyond last night, the Department of Public Safety says Deputy Alred is always focused on safety of his fellow officers and the community he serves. Brian, Heidi.
Jamie, thank you. Certainly difficult to listen to that call last night. We were both listening in on the scanner traffic, and very difficult for those officers as they arrived on the scene. Last night, they didn't know exactly what kind of call they were answering. Domestic violence, though, one of the most difficult calls to answer. We spoke today to former Salt Lake City Police Chief Chris Burbank about what makes these calls specifically so dangerous.
The reports come from a third party, right? We hear this going on. Go investigate. These are some of the most emotional circumstances that anyone can imagine being involved in, right? Fighting with a spouse, a loved one. This brings everything to the surface, and just about anything can happen. And you were walking into a situation that you don't know.
Now, Burbank says he thinks more needs to be done before domestic violence escalates to the point it did last night.
Looking more into the suspect right now, we did some investigating and found that this suspect has had numerous instances with run-ins with the law. The 33-year-old Ryan Michael Bate has had at least 2 instances where he's had charges related to domestic violence assaults. Back in 2021, he agreed to a plea deal, which dismissed one of those charges. And just last year, he pleaded not guilty to another case, and prosecutors filed a motion to dismiss it. We have a full breakdown of these cases on our website right now, KUTV.com.